What's up, guys? I'm JJ,
I'm Javier.
and this is PM Football. We're in a new set.
Yeah.
We're testing this one out. A little bit more cozy than the other one. We've got a little bit more room. We could do jumping jacks if we wanted to.
I'm not going to, but we could.
We could. There's a lot more room back here. Let us know what you guys think. It took me a little bit to.
Yeah, you
set
did.
this
I did absolutely nothing.
It's all right.
You did all the work.
You were doing stuff. It doesn't matter. But today we are going to be talking about college football. We haven't talked about college football in a while. It's been probably 5 months
before the draft. I feel like was the last time we actually took a deep dive into college football, which is weird. That's where our experience.
Yeah.
Is in,
it's just more fun to talk about the NFL. I'll be honest. Although
in a way,
jumping back into looking at this college football stuff, I'm ready
excited.
for this season.
I'm very excited for this season.
So the whole point of the video today, we're going to be each giving 4 bold predictions for this upcoming season. Why don't we kick things off with you? What's your number 1 bold prediction for this upcoming season?
My first bold prediction for this upcoming college football season, I think Oregon goes back-to-back as Big Ten champions.
Interesting.
Ohio State right now is favored to win the Big Ten, which I understand they just won the national championship.
Very understandably.
But Ohio State lost their starting quarterback as well as other valuable players to the NFL. Oregon's bringing in Dante Moore, a transfer from UCLA, who's projected to be their starting quarterback. He has a lot of potential to be special in college football. Oregon also brought in 3 offensive linemen through the portal, including Isaiah World, who is a transfer from Nevada, and he was considered the top tackle in the transfer portal. Oregon has built, and I don't want to call it a dynasty, but this very high prestigious program, built it through their O-line, and they're continuing to do that. They even have, and I already know I'm gonna mess this up, center Iapani Lalulu. I know I messed that up.
Close enough. Sorry to whoever you are.
But he is considered one of the best centers in all of college football. So they're still maintaining that high prestigious offensive line room. And Dan Lannon, I would say, is a top 3 head coach in the entire country.
I would agree with that, especially with the recruiting aspect.
Yes,
and
I think is a consensus and strong argument that Dan Lannon is a top 3 head coach in the entire country. All those things put together, I just think it is built for Oregon to go back-to-back with the transfers that are coming in, with Ohio State losing what they're losing, and Dan Lannon and that prestigious coaching staff they have in Oregon. I think they're going to repeat as back-to-back champions in the Big Ten.
So are you out on Texas or not Texas? Are you out? Getting a little too ahead of myself here. Are you out on Michigan? As
I wouldn't say I'm out. Obviously,
just because I feel like they're getting a lot of talk.
They are. They have a lot of potential in Ann Arbor for sure. There's obviously the top 4 in the Big Ten. You have Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Oregon. Those are the guys. Maybe USC. I don't really think a lot of people would consider them, but those are mainly the top 4 in the Big Ten that are going to compete for the championship.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I think there's a chance they could win the Big Ten or even be in the conference championship game. I just think right now Oregon is too strong from top to bottom to lose out on it to Michigan.
Interesting. My first bold prediction for this upcoming season is, even though that I have that cup on my side of the table, I'm gonna be taking Texas to not make the college football playoff.
All right then.
Now, that is a pretty big bold prediction to start the video off.
Yeah.
I know it is. They're the betting favorite in the SEC right now. I think they're tied with one other team as for the most wins or over/under most wins in the season. For me, though, it's just hard to look at this team and say they're better than they were last year. They may have upgraded the quarterback position. Hopefully, they upgraded the quarterback position. Quinn did not do them any favors last year. I'm very high on Arch still. Don't get me wrong. I still think he's going to be a first-round pick. If not this year, then next year. I'm very high on him. But they lost 4 out of their 5 starting offensive linemen. They lost both of their defensive tackles to the draft. They lost 2 edge rushers to the draft. They lost a safety to the draft. They have a lot of missing pieces. Now, I understand that a lot of those people that they're replacing are other 5 stars. They're replacing them with other 5 stars.
Yeah.
But
As they usually do, but yeah.
Exactly. But you can't just expect them to come in right away and gel together. Like, even if they do have a good season, I don't expect the beginning of the year to go as planned to a lot of people.
They start out against Ohio State, right?
I
gonna
could
be
see
good
that
one.
game be interesting. Just
gonna be a good one.
both teams really are got new quarterbacks, and they got to see how they play. Again, this isn't a hate on Arch thing. This is just I think Texas is a young team this year, and I think their defense will still be good. I just think the offense could struggle to start off. They could pick it up, like I said, but if I had to guess right now today, I don't think they make the college football playoff.
I disagree with you.
I think a lot of people do.
I see your points. However, I think especially, the name, obviously, and being in the SEC, I just find it hard to name 12 teams that will end up better than Texas.
It's definitely tough. I think LSU could be very much improved this year. I think Alabama, if Ty Sampson can be good. Georgia, you saw what they did with why am I blanking on his name?
I know who you're
the
trying
quarterback.
to say. The quarterback, yeah. Which
Little
I'm
guy.
blanking on his name too.
You guys know who we're talking about. We know ball, I swear. But I don't know. I just think a lot of teams could take that next step this year. And as much as I don't want to say it, I think Texas doesn't take that leap this year. Probably next year, though.
Interesting. Okay. Again, I disagree, but I see the points you are making. My number 2 bold prediction, I'm staying in the Big Ten. I think Michigan makes it 5 in a row against Ohio State. I know some of you might be thinking I'm really hating on Ohio State right now. I promise you I'm not.
Kind of seems like it.
I'm just saying it how I see it. Ohio State is obviously going to be favored at home. Ohio State lost, and I brought it up with my last hot take. Ohio State lost a lot of valuable talent to the NFL, as well as their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, who's now with the Raiders. And why not? Like, what's stopping Michigan from making it 5 in a row?
Yeah.
We literally just sat here and said they have so much potential, so much young talent coming in, getting ready to play. Why not? I'm not saying they're going to go in. It's going to be in Columbus this year, right?
Yeah,
believe
because
so.
it was in Michigan.
Yeah. Was it in Michigan? No, it was in
It's
Ohio
in Michigan.
State. It's in Michigan. Even more reason. It's going to be in Michigan.
Especially with what we just talked about. Like,
Yeah.
Michigan should be
I
on the
expect
rise
them
this year.
to improve this year. Yeah.
They got a young quarterback in Bryce Underwood, who
Yeah.
there's reports going around that he might not be ready to play right now, but we're gonna find
soon.
out for sure.
We're gonna find out very soon. My thing is, like, what is stopping Michigan from making it 5 in a row?
The history tells you that it's not gonna stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point. So my second hot take: Michigan makes it 5 in a row against Ohio State.
As an Ohio State lover, I love that pick, but I
As
don't
an
know.
Ohio State lover, you love it.
Did I say Ohio State?
Yes.
As a Michigan.
Michigan,
I meant
yeah.
as an Ohio State hater.
You love that. Got
I
it.
love that,
Yes.
but I don't know. Like I've said that
It's
every
a
year.
hot
though.
take
I've
for a reason.
I've said it every year. I think if like last year there was no shot. Like if you would have told me that, no shot.
Yeah, I didn't think Michigan
year-
was going to beat them last year. You brought up a good point. After last year, it was like, psh. I don't
Just
know,
might
man.
be a curse. Ryan Day might not be able to beat him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine, like, if you're a 5-star and you commit to Ohio State, it's because, like, you want to beat Michigan. Like,
Yes.
That's one of the main driving points. There is an entire recruiting class that went their entire college career
Didn't beat 'em.
without beating them once.
Yep.
That would pain me to my core if I didn't beat my biggest rivals once.
Yeah. No, that's tough.
It's
But
funny. It's hilarious.
no, it is because I hate Ohio State. But
I don't. It's just funny. From a non-biased standpoint, it's funny.
yeah. All right, moving on to my second hot take for this upcoming season. I've got to talk about Old Dominion. We've got the Old
Oh.
Dominion helmets on the table.
Oh.
We've got to talk about them in
Our
some
former
capacity.
employers.
We used to work there.
You went back to back former employers.
I did.
Wow.
This one's good though.
Really?
I think. Are you ready for this? You're gonna think this is insane. Old Dominion
Yeah.
will have the best record of all of the Virginia schools this year.
Okay. Elaborate, please.
I think they're gonna have a better record than every single school
Is that
in
it?
Virginia.
That's.
They're gonna have a better record than Tech, UVA.
I know who the Virginia.
Like
schools
that's what I'm saying.
are. So there's no like this is why. It's just they're gonna have the best.
Yeah.
All right, look. I am a
All right, fine. I'll jump. Liberty, I think, has had the best record, or JMU maybe has had the best record.
It's between those two for sure. Yeah.
Liberty doesn't have Salter anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think they're still probably going to be okay. I think they play in a really easy conference, so they might still squeak out 8-9 wins, maybe. Hopefully not for this prediction specifically. JMU aren't as good as they were last year. They lost a couple players. Tech, ODU plays them. I think they also play JMU. If they can beat both of them, it's going to be hard for them to not have a better record than both of them. I mean, I guess not, but if they still beat both of them, it will be good for them having a better record. And then UVA. I think UVA is probably at the bottom of the ACC. I wouldn't be shocked if ODU...
They improved last year. They did. Compared to years prior,
they lost their best player, Sanker.
Yeah.
I don't have very much faith in UVA, and I know I'm wearing the hat today because
Bandwagon.
I don't know, I just like this hat.
It's a nice looking hat. I'll give you.
But I really think ODU is gonna have the best record out of the Virginia schools. You know who my dark horse is though?
For what?
For the Virginia school that's gonna have the best record. You don't know who I'm talking about? Norfolk State.
I thought you were going to say, I don't know why I thought you were talking about like Richmond or something.
No.
But, I mean, Mike Vick, man.
That's what I'm saying. He might turn that thing
new
around.
Culture, yeah.
What do you have to say about this? Because I know you have an opinion.
All right. I am somewhat of a proud alumni of ODU. I wouldn't say I'm like the other major schools in this, we live in the state, so we understand. For if you're watching and you don't live in the state of Virginia, maybe you understand, maybe you don't. Like the UVA fans and the Tech fans, you're really like the proud alumni, with all the gear, all this stuff. I'm not to that level, but I would still say I'm a proud alumni of ODU. I still have people I care about that not only still work for the team, but players that are still
on the team
that I care a lot for and have great relationships with. I hope nothing but the best for ODU. I want to make that very clear. I hope they go 12-0, become the 12th team in the playoff, and win it all.
I didn't go that far.
I'm saying what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I want nothing but the best for ODU football and the school.
Yeah.
I'm just simply basing this off of the history of college football in Virginia. I think it will be tough to get, it pains me to say this because I don't want it to be true, but it's the truth. JMU has had our number.
They have.
It's just, for me, I would want nothing more than for ODU to finally beat JMU. I don't think that is this year, though. I don't think that they have. This going to sound so wrong. I don't think.
They have the talent.
No. I did not say that.
Okay.
I just don't think they have the infrastructure to be competing in wins.
Which could also mean talent?
No. I did not say that.
Okay. Then what are you saying?
I'm just saying I don't think they will have the most wins in Virginia. I think, like the other two group of 5 schools you said, Liberty and JMU are always going to be predicted and always do end up having vast majority more wins than losses.
Yeah. And I agree with you.
I don't think that stops this year, and that is all I will say about that.
I just think Liberty, no Salter. Salter has carried that team for the past 3 years.
Yes.
And JMU, they don't have as many players as they used to either.
They have. I'm gonna stop talking.
What?
No.
They have what?
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
They have what?
Will not say.
All right, let's not get us in trouble here. What is your third bold prediction?
You brought up Caden Salter.
I did.
Don't look at my computer.
I'm not.
For my third bold prediction, it has to do with one of his teammates and a little bit about him too. I think Juju Lewis will start at least half the games for Colorado this upcoming year. Why do I say that?
I don't know.
Reason 1, Caden Salter has been on the decline the last couple of years. He went from 61% completion rating to 56%, went from 2,800 passing yards to 1,800, went from 32 touchdowns to 15 touchdowns with the same amount of interceptions. So he went down in touchdowns, but kept the same amount of interceptions at 6. had 205 passing yards per game, and that went down to 171. So we see he's already on the decline, which is weird because it's not like he was playing in a difficult conference.
Yeah.
Why is he struggling in an easy conference, you would say?
Can I give a counterpoint to
I'm
that?
not done. You may after, but I am not done. Juju decommitted from USC. And the reason he said he left or decommitted from USC was due to him being able to compete early for a starting spot. So obviously him and Dion have had the conversations about, hey, I think there's a chance not only that you could come compete for the starting spot, which he will be doing, but not only can you compete for it, there's a chance you could win it. I'm not saying he's going to come out week 1 and be the starter. I'm just saying it's already in Prime's mind and everyone's mind. At any moment, this guy could go in and play. We don't have any issue with it. Coach Prime has shown a lot of love and affection publicly towards Juju. If you look at the history of Prime and the players he backs up publicly and supports publicly, all those players have had a lot of play time or have become stars for him right away. Prime has patterns of if he loves you and if he believes in you, you will be on the field for him. And that's exactly what he's shown with Juju. So for those reasons, I think Juju Lewis will start at least half the games for Colorado.
It's not that I even disagree with you.
Okay.
Like the counterpoint I was going to make was just more so Salter and why the numbers might have been down last year.
Okay.
They ran the ball a lot last year, and they were dominating those games. They won a lot of games last year, so they
win
didn't
a lot of games every year. Yeah.
But my point is that they didn't really have to score as much as they used to when their defense wasn't as good. Their defense was good last year, so they were not scoring as much because the defense was holding the teams to less points, which kind of sounds stupid because they should be scoring more points when the defense is giving up less points. But
I have a counter to that. If all that were true, sure. But the decline he has shown isn't like a couple touchdowns last few yards. Like, these are drastic.
Yeah.
Like, he scored less than half the touchdowns he did the year previously.
Yeah.
He had 1,000 yards less than the year previously.
They
while
also
keeping the same interceptions. It's just he had, I can't do them, like 40 yards per game less than he did the year previously.
They also had C.J. Daniels that year, who is now on LSU. If he's not
Miami.
He transferred to Miami too. Okay. Well, that's what I'm like. You lose a star receiver like that, your numbers are going to drop. And I'm not saying it's all him. Yes, you still got to play that good.
I was supposed to say, yes, you lost your best receiver, but you didn't lose your best receiver while you're playing in the SEC or the Big Ten. You're playing in the Conference USA.
Yeah.
Find another receiver to pass the ball to. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
and again,
no disrespect to Conference USA, but
it's not Big 12.
If your best DB of all time is Reed Blankenship, who we played and honestly was not good when we played him, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. No, but what I was going to say is I agree with you. There's no reason for Juju to go to a school like Colorado, especially with a quarterback like Salter coming in, if you don't know you're not going to have a chance to start.
Exactly. It would be one thing if he was already committed to Colorado, and then Salter came, and then, like, that's one thing. He was committed to USC, saw what the situation was in Colorado, was like, I could hit the field a lot sooner here.
And we've got to see, now that Dion doesn't have a son that's on the team.
Exactly.
He's going to make one of these kids his son.
Juju. The kid that he has publicly came and embraced.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think he starts, you said half the games?
At least I think at the latest by week 6, by week 7 at the latest, on the 7th game, Juju starts.
I think I agree with you. Just because if there's any word in the public of, oh, they need to start him, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, he can flip his mind like that and switch everything up.
Absolutely. And he's a talent. He's very talented.
This is not taken away. Yeah.
This isn't a
He's a 5-star.
He's a dog. Juju Lewis is a dog. He's just really young. But I think you take a chance on a kid like that really early.
Especially if the team starts to do bad and the eyes start to go off of them. What gets the eyes back on them?
You just lost the best player in school history. Like, you're not about...
Shador Sanders.
Yeah, not the other guy whose number they retired.
Yeah.
The original guy whose number they retired, like, understandably. So I don't think anyone's coming out and saying, hey, they're going to be even better than last year, which gives me even more reasons to think they wouldn't mind throwing Juju in there because, like, I don't think anyone thinks they're going to be better than they were last year.
I agree. No. My third bold prediction, and I'm going to get hate for this one. I already know because a lot of people don't like this guy. I know you don't like this guy.
Ooh, interesting.
I think that Carson Beck will go higher in the draft than Cade Klubnik.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, I know, like, my original one for this was that Carson Beck was still going to be a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. But I changed it to he's going to go higher than Cade Klubnik. Because right now, if you had to ask the consensus, I think a lot of people would have Cade Klubnik as the number one pick. I personally am not a fan of Cade Klubnik.
Yeah, you're a huge Cade Klubnik hater.
It's not even that I'm a hater. I just don't think he has a first-round grade. And I know you're going to sit here and say I don't think Carson Beck has a first-round grade either. But look what Cam Ward just did with Miami.
Yes.
That's where Carson Beck is going. Miami has shown that they'll be able to take a quarterback with traits, use those traits to their advantage, and make them a product for the NFL. Now, we still are yet to see what Cam Ward is like in the NFL, but he was the first pick in the draft for a reason. Mm-hmm. You're not just going to be the first pick in the draft just because you went to Miami or that they think you're going to be a good quarterback. You have the traits to be that number one pick. Mm-hmm. Now, that's going to be decided in the long run if it was the right pick or not. But because they were able to take a guy like Cam Ward and make him the number one pick, I think Carson Beck, who arguably probably has better traits than a Cam Ward, especially coming out of high school. Like, Carson Beck was one of the highest touted, I don't know why I just stuttered so bad there, highest touted quarterbacks coming out of high school.
Yeah.
That, I mean, and same could be argued about Cade Klubnik, but I'm just not a fan. And to put everything into perspective, I think Clemson is just a better all-around team, and they have a better offense around him.
I don't think anyone would disagree with that one.
Especially, I think they got 2 receivers in this class that probably will be first-round picks.
Miami has C.J. Daniels.
He's not getting first-round consideration, though. They got 2 guys that are definitely going in the first round, or right now currently going in mock drafts in the first round. Yeah. It's hard to say after last year that Carson Beck is going to be able to be a first-round pick. Because obviously me saying this, I kind of feel like he probably will be a first-round pick because as much as I dislike Cade Klubnik, he probably still will be a first-round pick. I just think Carson Beck will go higher.
I have 2 main points to this. With my first point, I cannot necessarily agree or disagree with this simply because I'm a strong believer. Like, I need to see how this year goes before I can be like, yes or no. For all we know, last year was like an anomaly for Carson Beck, and like for whatever reason, it just wasn't working, and he finds a new step in Miami and just goes off. Like, we don't know. I don't want to really judge it until this season happens before I'm like, you know what, he deserves to be higher than him and all this stuff.
Stop reading my screen.
I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Why'd I forget my second point?
Sorry.
All good. What was my second point?
I don't know why you're asking me.
Oh, yes, I remember my second point. I apologize. You brought up Cam Ward and saying there could be a lot of similarities there and how he performs and all that stuff. I think Cam Ward is a way better athlete than Carson Beck. So I think naturally Cam Ward was always going to, and again, it's hard to say before the season happens, but I think Cam Ward's Miami season is going to be better than Carson Beck's Miami season simply because Cam Ward was the better athlete. And I would even say, honestly, better passer.
Arguably. That the better passer part. I would give you the athlete. Although Beck's athletic.
I would say both. I'm not saying he's not, but as an athlete and as a pure passer, I'm taking Cam Ward and both of those over Carson Beck.
We're going to have to see.
Yeah, and again, that's why I'm
I,
saying it's a little difficult.
I don't know if
because
I would go with the
it's-
passer. I still think Beck has the arm talent, at least. I don't know about the actual being able to make the throw, but he has the ability to make the throw. So you just got to hope that Miami can turn him into the quarterback that he should be.
And it's weird because before last season, before
It wasn't
last
even a question he
college
was a top
football
5
season,
pick.
he was going to be a top 10 pick, no doubt.
Yeah.
And last year was just so bad.
Yeah, he just fell off a cliff,
It
like
was
legitimately.
so bad, and then you lose a Cavender twin. That's never a good thing.
Although maybe he was holding them back.
Maybe you know what? All right, look.
That's
if
what I'm.
Carson Beck goes off this year, no more supermodel girlfriends for him. Which you could argue, why does he have one in the first place? But that's a different.
No offense,
discussion.
I still think you're going higher than Cade. He thinks you're ugly.
I mean, you've literally called him Sid the Sloth, but
It's just a nickname.
what if he gets like a Sid the Sloth chain? He's
Exactly.
icy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we should be his PR team.
That's what I'm saying. 'Cause
Yeah.
Carson, we're gonna get you
Hire
drafted
us.
number 1.
Hire us.
We're gonna get you drafted number 1 this year.
But all together, I don't know. This one's hard for me to agree or disagree with, just because, like, I mean, it's one of those, like, we'll have to see.
Yeah, no, and a lot of this is just based off of what Cam Ward did last year.
Yeah.
The talent to me is still there for Carson Beck. You just have to get it out of him.
Yeah. You just got to hope last year doesn't repeat itself.
And on top of the fact that I just am not a fan of Cade Klubnik.
Like I said, you're a Cade Klubnik hater.
I'm not a hater.
You hate
I
him.
don't like his game.
For a year now, I've been trying to tell you, like, he's better than what you're giving him credit for.
I watched the tape.
I've watched the games. Like, he's really not bad.
He's not good either, though.
No, he's decent. He's decent.
All right. Well, before we go on a 45-minute conversation about this, let's finish up your
Yes.
last one. What do
My
you got?
last hot take, maybe my hottest.
It better
at this
be your
point,
hottest.
I think it is my hottest one. My last hot take: Brian Kelly gets fired at the end of this season. I would like to just say, I don't think this is a reflection of Garrett Nussmeier. I am a fan of his. I think he could do very well. I think there's a very strong chance he's a top 5, top 10 pick in the draft next year.
There's a reason I didn't say over Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah, no, trust me, this take has, I wouldn't say nothing to do with Garrett Nussmeier, but I'm just saying I think he will be a Heisman finalist. I think he'll be very good. So the reasons I'm saying this will be Brian Kelly's last year at LSU. If LSU don't make the playoffs, what is the reason to keep him around? They didn't make it last year, and the SEC, in my opinion, is only going to get stronger due to the young talent they have at quarterbacks and all the elite talent they have all around in the SEC. Teams, I think Alabama could get better. I think Texas A&M could get better. I think Florida could be better. Like, there's a lot of teams that I think are going to get a lot better and make it harder for LSU to kind of take that next step that they haven't took under Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
They lost both starting tackles to the NFL, as well as key players like Mason Taylor, who got drafted by the Jets. They lost a lot of talent through the portal, like C.J. Daniels, tight end Kamorian Pimpton. I know I messed that one up. And safety Deshaun Womack. Those are talented guys that contributed last year that aren't going to be there this year to help them out. If LSU misses out on the playoffs, which I think they will, they would have missed the playoffs in each of the 4 years that Brian Kelly has been in
Has
charge.
it really been 4 years already?
Not a single college football playoff appearance. And I know last year was the first year was 12. Previously it was 4. But LSU is one of those places where it's just such high prestige. Like, it's a name. It's a brand. LSU isn't a program. It's a brand, and you have to keep
So he
that
got there
image.
in
2021.
Was he there for Justin? Or was it the year after?
It was the year after.
So Jamar was gone. Or was he there with the year of Jamar?
I think Jamar sat out his final year.
Yes.
That was Brian Kelly's first year. Yeah.
Time flies.
And especially with all the especially with all of the talent that's at LSU, past, present, what they're bringing in,
Yeah.
for you to not make the playoff once, it's not like LSU is gonna struggle to find a high ranking, prestigious name to come in and take over that program. Like like I said, it's the brand, it's the name. There's going to be so many talented coaches flooding the athletic facilities if that job opens up.
Yeah.
Which is why I think LSU will have no problem getting rid of him if he makes it 4 straight years of not making the playoffs. So for those reasons, I think Brian Kelly will get fired at the end of the season.
Now, I agree that they don't make it, he's gone. I think they might make it this year.
Okay, and again,
Now if they make it this year, I don't think he's gone.
I could agree with you there. I think if he does, obviously it would be dumb to get rid of a coach that just helped you make the playoffs, but I don't think they will make it. And again, to my first point, or one of my first points, I think the SEC is only going to get better. I don't want to say last year was a down year for the SEC.
No, that's a good point.
But like they weren't. It was one of those rare years where they weren't the best conference.
Well,
the Big Ten was the best conference last year.
The point to that, and I think that this is the reason as to why it wasn't, it's to exactly what you're saying. The competition is so much better now.
Exactly, it's
Like,
insane.
Texas, Oklahoma are in. Oklahoma.
I didn't even bring up Texas and Arch Manning. Like
Oklahoma's going to get better.
Exactly.
Florida's going to be better. I really am
That's what
higher
I'm
on
saying.
Florida this year than a lot of people.
I
A&M.
I am as well.
A&M's going to be good.
Yep.
Like,
Tennessee, we'll see what they're doing.
not as a big fan of Tennessee at the moment, but
I think they could shake some things up.
once they get that next guy in there, sure, yeah, that next quarterback.
They got Joey Aguilar. Is that his name?
But it's not. I mean,
He looked really good. He looked really good, man.
Sure, but regardless, the point still stands that the SEC is just a gauntlet now.
Yeah.
So, yes, I could see them not making it again. They haven't made it with all the talent that you mentioned before. What makes you think they're going to make it now?
Look, in 2021, they gave Brian Kelly a 10-year deal worth $90 million.
It's a lot of money.
If you told them when they signed that contract,
He wouldn't have made
hey,
it once.
you're not making the playoffs in your first 4 years, do you think they signed that contract? No chance.
And
I
on
think
top of
he's
the fact,
already on the hot seat because of that.
the coach or the team that he left has been in the national championship.
Yeah.
So
No, and it's not
That's not a
like
good look.
you're having trouble recruiting guys, getting guys in the port. Like, you have so much talent.
and the resources.
The talent at LSU is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You can't be one of the top 12 teams. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I think for those reasons, he's out.
All right, I like that one. I
Thank you.
think he's gone if those things don't happen.
Yeah.
To close out our bold prediction video, my final bold prediction for this upcoming season is that for the first time since 1997, let me put an asterisk next to this.
You did your research.
Let me put an asterisk next to this. Because I wanted to ask you this earlier, but because we were doing this as a surprise,
Yes.
I
You
didn't-
did bring
I
that
couldn't
up.
ask you
Yeah.
this.
So I have no idea.
I think for the first time since asterisk 1997, a defender wins the Heisman this year.
Interesting. Do you have a name in specific?
I have a name in specific because I think this dude, regardless of position, I don't care what he is,
Time.
he should be the first pick in the draft. Caleb Downs.
Interesting. Timeout.
Do you
I'm gonna call you out on something.
do you think Travis is a defender?
Months ago, we made a video. I can't remember what the video was of. You said guaranteed Arch Manning would win the
I did.
Heisman this year.
I did.
So what is it? Is Arch Manning winning the Heisman, or is this bold, pretty crazy take of yours gonna win the Heisman? Caleb Downs, you said, right?
Yeah.
It's Caleb Downs winning the Heisman.
I'm taking Caleb Downs to win the Heisman.
So you take those people that we just told, put your money down
yeah.
on Arch
I mean, that
Manning,
was
which
more.
we did.
That
we
was
did
more the
make a
Texas fan.
caution warning. We did.
That was
say
more the Texas fan coming
we
out of
are
me.
not financial advisors.
Yeah.
We are not betting experts. Do not listen to us.
But again, this is what a bold prediction's for. No,
Yes, but I'm just saying you're flip flopping. That's all I'm.
it's
saying.
not really because it's my
Yes.
bold prediction. If I had to put actual money down on it,
Yes.
am I picking a bold prediction to put money on?
Okay, good.
No.
Good point. Good point.
If I had to put money on something, I'm gonna be telling you that this is what I would do. Not a bold. This is just a bold prediction.
Okay, I see you.
My bold prediction is a defender wins it this year, and it's Caleb Downs. Now, I said 1997. The thing that I was holding back from you is, would you consider Travis Hunter a defender?
No,
if
he
you
was an
do,
athlete.
if you do, first time ever at back-to-back defender wins the Heisman.
I don't think you could call Travis Hunter a defender though. He's definitely an athlete.
Yeah. So regardless, I really a true, and I in my note I put true defender.
Yeah.
A true defender wins the Heisman this year. My pick right now is Caleb Downs. I think he should be the first pick in the draft, regardless of the quarterbacks. I think the quarterbacks are amazing this year. Caleb Downs is the best safety prospect. He might be a top.
Since Sean Taylor.
He might be a top 3 prospect.
No, it's good
Top
as Sean
5.
Taylor.
I'll say top 5. Top 3 is kind of crazy. I'll say top 5. I might as well say top 10. No, I'm sticking to top 5.
Can you make up your mind?
He's a top 5 prospect of just the position that he plays ever.
Okay.
He is insane. He's the best safety I've ever seen play football.
You obviously haven't seen Sean Taylor film. Get a load of this guy. All right, look. I strongly disagree with you. I'm not saying
I would
it's impossible.
assume a lot of people would.
But I strongly disagree with you. There's too much talent,
Can I say
quarterback-wise,
this, though?
receiver-wise, running back-wise. that
This is why
Okay,
I think
sure.
the defender
Go ahead.
wins it. I think all of the quarterbacks are going to play super similar this year. And I don't think there's a clear and obvious choice. This guy's the best. Arch is in that conversation. Lagway's in that conversation. You could throw Klubnik in there. You could throw Beck in there if you want to. You could throw in
You got receivers, you got running backs.
Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. You throw in all those guys.
Yeah.
Unless Jeremiah Smith goes for 2,000 yards this year and 20 touchdowns.
That's pretty insane.
If I had to bet money right now, I'd say Caleb Downs has 7 picks, multiple forced fumbles, close to 100 tackles. Like, he does everything.
All right.
I just think, and he sacks the quarterback too as a safety. They call him down on blitzes all the time. I think this dude is the best player in college football, and that's what the Heisman's for. The best player in college football. That's
Very
him for
bold,
me.
very, very bold and hot take to say the least. Again, I disagree, but I like the passion you come with. And I'm excited to see what Caleb Downs does this year. All right.
sucks for Alabama though, because they had him in their hands and
Yeah.
they lost him.
All right, just a quick recap, just in case I decide I want to put this on TikTok. We're going to go over our hot takes again. My first hot take, Oregon goes back-to-back as Big Ten champions. My second one is Michigan wins 5 in a row against Ohio State. My third take, Juju Lewis starts at least half the games for Colorado. My final hot take, Brian Kelly gets fired at the end of this season.
My 4 bold predictions for this upcoming college football season. Texas doesn't make the college football playoff. ODU has the best record of all of the Virginia schools. Huh?
Some hot takes, man.
Carson Beck goes higher than Cade Klubnik in the NFL draft. And my final one is that a defender will win the Heisman. Asterisk, Travis Hunter. If you want to call him a defender, fine.
More than that. In my opinion, he's
Since
more than that.
1997, a true defender, Charles Woodson was the last defender to win it. I think that happens this year. And my pick is Caleb Downs.
Yeah, I mean, these were some pretty hot takes. I think we will get a lot of hate for some of these.
I especially think the Carson Beck one.
Okay,
I think a lot of people hate that man.
I can't disagree with that. I don't hate him. I have nothing against him.
Yeah. It's just he
I
has
hope he
not
does
lived
well.
up to the expectations.
I hope he does well. It was kind of sad to see the decline he was on last year, and I don't want to speculate what it was. Like I truly don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to see him bounce back though. You have anything you would like to add before we end this off?
No. I know you have a question for me.
I do have a question. What NFL QB has the most aura in the league? The quarterback in the NFL with the most aura. You can only name one. Who is it?
You already know what I'm going to say.
Give your honest opinion. What quarterback has the most aura in the NFL?
It's Josh Allen.
That's insane.
Josh Allen.
He doesn't have any.
Has the most, or that is the craziest
He
statement
doesn't
I've
have
ever heard.
any.
You guys have no idea how many times we have this.
Look,
argument.
he's a great guy.
Does Josh Allen have aura? That's the first question. Does he have any aura?
He looks homeless.
The fact that you say that man has zero aura is the
doesn't.
craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Doesn't. And it's insane. You think he has the most.
He does.
That's insane.
He does.
No. The real answer is Joe Burrow. I wanted
Because he looks like Macaulay Culkin.
No, what? Who said that?
Me.
I mean, no. He has swagger.
But what? What?
What?
What does he do?
Why are you so aggressive?
What does he
right now?
do?
He has swagger.
What?
He has the it factor. Like,
You running over people on the field?
what's that have to do with aura?
What?
What's that? What's running over
What does
people
Joe Burrow do besides get hurt and not win in the playoffs and have a terrible defense?
Last time I checked, he's been to a Super Bowl.
He has.
Has your guy been to the
Nope.
Super Bowl? Nope. He loses to the exact same dude every single time.
Yep.
No aura. No aura. You can't beat one dude. Where's the aura in that? You lose to Kermit the Frog every year.
Kermit the Frog might be the best quarterback ever.
Second best. He's the second.
I said
best.
might be.
Second
Who
best
is it?
quarterback.
Burrow is Burrow.
Burrow got.
Why?
Burrow got some aura. I just told you,
You didn't.
man.
You didn't tell me anything.
He got that swagger to him.
That does
He
a
got
great
that
job
swagger to
explaining
him.
it.
Like he's a cool. He's
He's
Joe
just cool,
Burrow.
and Josh isn't cool.
He's a nice dude.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
great guy. He's a cool dude. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What?
I wouldn't say he has aura, but like
How does
he don't
he-
got drip on him. He don't got swag, but that's fine.
He literally
He's a cool dude. He's a guy you want to get a beer with. He's a guy you want to meet at a bar, have a conversation with. Like he's a really cool dude.
You're insane.
I just complimented your quarterback.
I know, but you're making it. It's a backhanded compliment.
No,
You
it's
know-
not.
and you know it.
No, it's
You know it.
he's the MVP.
Why are you smiling?
Because
You know
you're
it's a
so
backhanded compliment.
sensitive about this.
No, I'm
Yes,
not.
you are.
I'm really not.
You're
just
saying
not giving me
because
factual.
he runs over people and loses to Kermit the Frog every year, he has aura. What sense does that make?
He is. He is the most in the league.
Literally doesn't.
What about player?
In general,
Let me flip this on you. I
Ooh,
never do this.
In general, I think Joe. I don't know if he's number one, but I still think Joe Burrow's up there for sure.
Player in general. You
you
said
have
quarterback, right?
I did say strictly quarterback. Yes.
No. That's why I was kind of hoping you would have one and I could think of it for a second.
Yeah. I honestly, I still think Joe Burrow's up there.
Fine, I'm going to stick with mine. I think Josh is still in the number one.
Doesn't have any.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not Josh. It's probably... I don't know. It's a great question by me. No, I'm just kidding.
I think. Call me crazy. I'm not saying he has the most, but I think a guy with contention, Max Crosby.
I was literally about to say
Max Crosby got some swagger.
Max
to him, for
Crosby
sure.
might be the coolest guy in the league.
He got swagger to him. He got words to him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have to go Max Crosby.
I might have Joe ahead of him, but I think Max is top 5. I think he's up there.
I don't know. Max is just... He looks like he could beat you up.
Oh yeah.
Seems cool.
Yeah.
But you're just a little bit scared of him.
Yeah, you have to.
That's what I mean.
You have
Like,
to.
I don't know. I feel like he's got a lot of aura.
I know you might disagree. I think Trent Williams, like that.
Sure. I don't think he'd be on very many people's top
Probably
lists.
not, because
But
people
I
like to
agree.
discriminate against linemen.
Now, if we're talking about just aura, I think Dion's up there.
Dawkins, I think he has more than Josh for sure. I think he has more than Josh. I'm gonna be honest with you.
The Snowman.
Yeah, exactly. He has his own nickname.
So does
He has ice on him. Like, what's Josh's nickname? Josh.
Joshy boy.
Joshy Boy
No, I'm
is his
just-
nickname.
I'm just kidding.
A
It's
guy
not.
named Joshy Boy.
It's not
what's
his
Josh
nickname.
Allen's nickname?
What's Jaden's nickname?
He has several.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kid.
I
Jaden.
would like to just bring up. I notice how you brought him up. I didn't bring up Jaden.
I just want to know if he had a nickname.
Yes, sir.
I just want-
JD5, that kid Jaden, that kid Jedi.
It's JA17.
JA17.
It's the same thing as his.
No,
Except
no,
it's-
no one's walking around saying, "Hey, look at JA17." You go out around and be like, "Yo, look at JD5." You could say no one's. Hey, it's Josh 17. No one's saying, "Hey, yo, Josh 17, what's up, man? How's it popping, bro?" No one's saying that.
Air Allen
Air Allen. I haven't heard anyone call him that.
when he jumps over everybody.
No one
Looks
calls
like
him
Michael
Air
Jordan.
Allen, though. Maybe you could start it. Maybe
I have
you
a
could
shirt
start
that says Air Allen.
Please show me because I don't.
I literally wear it all the time.
That's,
What are you
I've
talking-
never seen you wear
That's
it once.
such a
You're
lie.
such a liar.
That is such a
You're
lie.
such a gaslighting
I
liar.
literally wear it all the
no,
time.
I'm not gonna let you gaslight me on this one.
You really don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
I wear that shirt all the time.
I've never. Okay,
That's such a lie.
let me tell you something. Not only have I never seen you wear that,
I've
shirt,
never worn it on here.
I've never. How long have we been friends now?
We used to live
3 or
together,
4
and I used to wear it all the time.
No, you have not.
I swear.
Not only have I never seen you wear that shirt, I've never seen you wear anything related to Josh Allen at all.
You just didn't know it was that
whatsoever.
shirt. I guarantee you that you just did not know.
Promise you.
I've worn that shirt probably 100 times in front of you.
Lies. I'm not letting you gaslight me on this. I'm not letting you gaslight me on this.
you're gonna be like, "Oh,
No,
that one?
No, I promise.
Oh,
you.
that one? I didn't know it was a Josh Allen
wear it
shirt.
for next week's
I didn't
episode.
know that was a
I
Josh Allen
swear
shirt.
To you, I've never seen you wear that shirt.
I swear.
No.
I'm gonna show you the video or the picture of it after we're done with this. All right, let's wrap this up.
Thank you for joining us. Let us know, 1, what hot takes you agree or disagree with. 2, what QB
has the most
aura. And 3, is this dude right? I don't think Josh Allen has any aura.
He has so much; it's unfathomable.
All right, sure. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, follow us on TikTok at PM Football Podcast, as well as on Twitter at PM Football Podcast. Let us comment. Let us know what you think, what you agree with, disagree with, any ideas you would like us to do, any questions you have. We will be happy to answer them. And we will see you guys next week.
See ya.